I'm so used to being late. I'm always late. Figured I show up a little bit early today. Since I'm always late, man, I figured I show up early. So shout out to all my reapers. Hope everybody's good. Hope everybody had a great Halloween and things. You know what I'm saying? I know we supposed to go at 6 or whatever, but I figured I'd start a little bit early, man. I couldn't. I just didn't have shit to do, so I wanted some shit to do. Okay, I'm always late, man. Wanted to be early, man. So what's up with y'all, man? What's good? George, the last page for you. Salute. Chance Smoke, what's goody? Gotti Line, what's popping with you? What's good, right? Everybody still waiting on you. Yeah, man. I'm always late, man. I'm always late, man. But we working on that. We working on getting that shit together. Hey, man, everything good on my end. I can't complain, man. Hope everybody enjoyed the Man of Steel. I enjoyed creating it. So I hope y'all enjoyed watching the shit. Said you still on the Harlem train? But shout out to Harlem, man, and shout out to everybody on the tram and shit. Especially shout out to the Blue Arlet, though. What's popping with you, love? Everybody moving and shit. How was everybody Halloween? Everybody Halloween good? Your kids get on your nerves, take them out, get some candy and all of that shit. Is your stomach's hurting? I hope everybody good, though. So, yeah, man, we going to kick this off. Mob should be pulling up around like 6 o'clock. Yeah, man. We got Canelo versus Plant this weekend. Yo, people be mad, butthurt. I'm not even a Canelo fan, but it's like I got like this trigger. Anytime I say something, it just triggers the fuck out of people. Men, women, binaries, non-binaries, they, thems. I'm a fucking trigger. Yeah, I heard they got Poe in Harlem, so I know your shit crazy out there. I heard they sent five through his window on some doo. I mean, hey man, like he walked around like it wasn't a problem, man. That man gave a lot of people's lives pain, man. He caused a lot of pain, and there's a lot of people still grieving over Dementio. There's a lot of people still grieving over Rich Porter. He did a lot of shit, man. So he it was only, you know what I mean, you live by it, you die by it is what they usually say, you know what I mean? Man, I'm glad you enjoyed it, Gotti, you know what I'm saying? We had to throw one in the clip for Terence, though, man. He always gets such a bad rap. Like people always got the worst shit to say about Terence Crawford. And the crazy thing is, if you pay attention to boxing and how boxing work in the YTBC, it's like 1 minute, everybody respects you for who you are. Then somebody else does some mediocre shit, and then they start hating on you. Like, you ain't a 135 lineal. Like, you ain't lineal undisputed at 140. Like, you just didn't go straight up there and dominate the guy who gave Manny Pacquiao hell. And this is the crazy shit, right? How damaged has Manny Pacquiao been over his career? And how many times has he been knocked out? But nobody will say he was over the hill or anything going into a fight with Ugas until he lost. And everybody like, he need to put it down. So when a dude like Kell Brook, who way younger, who is taking significantly less damage than Manny Pacquiao, you know what I'm saying, he's washed, But, Manny Pacquiao, of course, is a greater fighter, a more accomplished fighter, but shit, Kell Brook is an accomplished fighter too. I just think boxing is just a weird game of like, what have you done for me lately? Based off of what this guy's done for me lately. And usually most of the people they praise and ain't done shit at all. It's a game of foot thongs and flip-flops. And I don't appreciate it. One thing we've always done on this channel, and one thing we will always do, is champion for Bud. Because Bud represents something that should always be, like glorified in boxing. He represents a dude that is willing to fight everybody with no excuses. And I glorify niggas with no excuses. Niggas is willing to fight everybody and a level of consistency. Like, you know what I'm saying? I said some shit about Canelo-Plant today. I said, yo, Canelo-Plant, I said on Twitter, I said, yo, Canelo-Plant, you talking about your confidence, and you said everybody hits hard at 168, which is false. Everybody doesn't hit hard at 168 on that level. I find that to be complete bullshit. So you're basically underestimating Canelo power, or you shouldn't care about it. And rightfully so. You shouldn't care, but you should care at the same time because it has significant knockout power, significant pressure, and significant shots that create a certain level of fucking your shit up to the body. So when you're sitting up there saying everybody hit hard on that level, you fought Mike Lee, who came down, who fought at 175 his whole entire career, and he ain't never even been nowhere but on a domestic level. And he ain't fought no top tens, no champions, or nothing like that. He was losing the duds. I understand that Vincent Feigenboots was your mandatory, but you didn't have to fight. You didn't have to fight a goddamn Caleb Trax, and Caleb Trax wasn't even his original opponent. It was supposed to be Angulo, but Angulo couldn't make the weight. He couldn't make he passed out trying to make the weight. So when people say, well, okay, so the hated responses is, well, who is he supposed to fight so you can gauge him against Canelo? I mean, what is he supposed to fight? What's Lemieux, Ryder, or who else did they say? Lemieux, Ryder, Billy Joe Saunders, who was a former world champion, who beat all them dudes. You know what I'm saying? Proven, or I think they might have said Smith too. But my whole thing is this: you completely leave out David Benavidez, his stablemate, who been chasing that motherfucker and his old shadow for the past 2 years, who has overwhelming pressure, who has overwhelming size, and all of that. You know what I mean? So I got mad hate for saying I hope Plant wins. You cannot be a Canelo fan these days. Funny, they automatically assume I'm black. Tells you everything you need to know. Cause motherfuckers look, man, the Canelo, look, man, a lot of Canelo fans is wild racist. They wild racist. I deal with the comments on a regular basis. I know. I mean, look, it's okay to be tribal, but when you come off as a bigot, that's something completely different. But you know what I'm saying? Like, honestly, I don't dislike Canelo. I don't dislike Canelo-Plant. I'm just saying, when I look at Canelo-Plant and I look at what he's done, bro, you went 12 rounds with Caleb Trax. You went 12 rounds with Caleb Trax. Like, you fought Mike Lee. At the end of the day, when you calling Jose Utsukagi a boogeyman, then what the fuck does that make motherfucking Canelo Baba Yaga? Does that make Canelo Baba Yaga if you going life or death with fucking and you thinking Jose Utsukagi is a boogeyman? Whatever in Jose Utsukagi's career made him a boogeyman? I'll wait. It's funny how people pick and choose who they want to be old, who they want to be washed, who they want to feel like has a good chance or whatever. But as far as I know and how I grew up on boxing, this is the deal. Boxing with me has always been based off who have you fought and who have you beat, and that's how we can gauge you against your competition. So if I look at Canelo-Plant, and I'm sure a lot of sensible people gauge other fighters and fights in that fashion. So if I look at Canelo-Plant and what Canelo-Plant has done, how the fuck am I supposed to gauge him? Who has he fought? Who has he beat? What has he done? Bro, your voluntaries is Caleb Trax. Your voluntaries is Caleb Trax. You want no parts of David Benavidez. You don't want no parts of nobody. Bro, you could have made a case. Canelo can't unify all of the fucking belts at one time, stupid. And if anybody has a great relationship with the PBC, we already know that, I mean, with the WBC, we already know that that's the PBC. So you mean to tell me you couldn't unify with none of them dudes? I never heard of him trying to reach out to fight Billy Joe Saunders. I never heard of him reaching out trying to fight Callum Smith. Shit, who has he reached out and tried to fight? Canelo-Plant is a promotion guy. He's 1000% a promotion guy. Shout out to Funka Boxing 510 said 2 hands. RGR Reaper Game Radio. Salute to you, my guy. Always appreciate you. It's just crazy to me. It's like, bro, so now we just supposed to forget that these niggas ain't fought nobody? This nigga ain't fought nobody? And he going up in there with somebody who floods the basement? All Canelo does is flood the basement, bruh. He floods your basement. He gonna flood your basement. And at the end of the day, when you against a fighter who does something like that, it's kind of hard for you to move around. And I've never seen Caleb-Plant. Caleb-Plant definitely got some sweet hands. I give him that. Very, very beautiful, stylistic, you know what I'm saying, boxer. I'll give him that, but I ain't never really seen the footwork. I haven't seen the type of Eris Landry Lara footwork that'll make me say, okay, well, he can get out of the way of some shit and hit him with a lot of hot shit. So that way, this fight is going to be more than you just getting the shit beat out of you. Am I wrong for saying that? Like, boxing fans are too butthurt. It don't matter who you criticize. You criticize them, it don't matter. You're never right. You know what I'm saying? Like, all of it's, you know, a majority of shit is objective and subjective. But at the same time, we watching and we seeing outcomes to a lot of shit too. So there's levels to shit. And all I'm saying is, and that's a fact, James Jamerson, salute. Knowing that there's levels and certain elements of boxing that make me lend my credibility to certain individuals, as well as I'm sure most of y'all will, what the hell am I supposed to do other than say that, man, that dude ain't on that level? You said, yo, can't nobody tell me this nigga just sat around for a whole 2 years just waiting to get a Canelo fight. Because in all actuality, here's the truth. He's done absolutely nothing to deserve it. What has he done to deserve it? I mean, shit. Demetrius Andrade is a two-way world champion. He ain't done, so if Andrade ain't done nothing to deserve it, Plant ain't done nothing to deserve it. And honestly, Plant just in a division and you got something that he want. But let's be quite honest here. He's done nothing to deserve that payday. And if he just sat around for a couple of years, like, you know, I'm hoping to get a Canelo fight, I'm hoping to get a Canelo fight with a thumb in his ass, then you're going to get bodied. You're going to get bodied. What else am I supposed to say other than the Grim Reaper ready to go to work? And this is Reaper Gang Radio. Man, bro, I'm not no hater, bro, but I'm always, Javi, salute. I'm always going to tell motherfuckers who got a better shot at doing what. And based off of what I know about Canelo Alvarez, and based off of what I know about Caleb Sweet Cheeks Plant, November 6th is a wash. And here's another thing. For all of those people that are retweeting the 168 division is trash. So I don't want to hear shit about when I constantly say something about his 168 run is nothing to be proud of. Because there ain't nobody there, obviously, so they say, besides two people, right? So look, this is how fans don't even know how they catch their dumb asses up. You criticize the whole division, so that means you're criticizing this whole run at 168. Am I saying something wrong here? I've always said these things. I don't have a problem with the guy at all. I just think that, you know, the level of opposition for the level of talent that is Canelo could be a little bit better. Could be a little bit better. But in these circumstances and what we have in front of us right now, what does Caleb-Plant have to offer him anything than his motherfucking guts and his abs? His intestines, his abs, his liver, his kidneys, motherfucking goddamn it, his pelvic bones. What more does he have to add than his abs? His chin, his teeth, his cheekbones, his jaws, his eye sockets, his retinas. What more does he have to offer than all of those things? Criticize me all you want. But this is how I see it. And this is how it's always going to be. Canelo is worlds above this dude. And the only way that I can see him as not being worlds above this guy is if he beats that guy. Now, is he going to beat him? We're going to have to wait and find out Saturday night. Because I'm going to be honest with y'all. There have been a few fighters that have, you know, caught niggas with the banana in the tailpipe. There have been a few. There are a few very talented fighters that catch you with the banana in the tailpipe early, like a, you know, MJ Akhmadaliev, who can get a hold of a Danny Roman, put on an amazing fucking fight, and everybody like, whoa, where the fuck did this 6-0 kid come from? Who the fuck is Joel Diaz? Let's pay a little bit more attention to him. Even though I feel as though everybody should know who Joel Diaz is. So I'm just saying, there are several talented fighters that will catch you with the banana in the tailpipe. But I'm not seeing, look, man, if Canelo-Plant, right, 168 IBF world champion, what would y'all feel as though, and I'm asking y'all this, what do y'all feel as though he should do against a guy like Caleb Trax? And let's not forget that Caleb Trax stepped in that fight last minute for a title shot. How should he fare? How should he perform in a fight like that? That just tells you everything you need to know. And that just put all of the bullshit to bed right there. Caleb Floyd Mayweather plan. Cruz Blake, what's goody with you, bro? Spartan, what's goody with the bro? Gang, gang. Fanboys are ruining the sport. I blame fanboys and why some of these fights aren't popping off. That's what I'm saying. Like the Reaper Gang Queens got more hearts than most of these loose booty ass niggas, man. They see the sport and a much better, with much clear lenses than these dudes do. I'm telling you, there is a real thing in boxing called toxic fandom. We go through this shit every day, dog. And then, like, once again, people don't understand how they catch themselves in narratives. And when it comes to certain things where people achieve certain shit, that person can't give them credibility based off of the narrative you've done saturated yourself in. So don't criticize 168 and then call this nigga GOAT after he become undisputed. That's all I'm saying. You can't criticize the division and then call a nigga king. I've been criticizing the division, except maybe 2 people. But all I'm saying is the dude gonna get his ass whooped, man. Canelo is too fucking good. Canelo is too good if you throw him in a position like that to where a motherfucker, a boxing fan, shouldn't even be arguing back with me about this shit. Yo, understand, I don't care if you like the dude or you don't like the dude. Everybody know I'm not the biggest Canelo fan. I like him, but I ain't like bad shit crazy about him. I'm just feet planted on solid ground when it comes to the dude. But I'm saying at the end of the day, you can't tell me that this nigga's not worlds above who we going against right now. So how can you confidently try to argue with me about this situation? This is one of them situations where it's like some Ripley's Believe It or Not shit. You're going to have to visualize it to believe it. Canelo-Plant is going to have to make that shit real. What? Yeah. He going to have to make that shit real. He going to have to make that shit as real as the sound of these slaps I'm doing on the back of my hand. Baby powder, bitches. I had to make that shit real, man. So at the end of the day, for me wanting for people to understand that, like, yo, fall back with your criticism of me or anybody else when it comes to this situation, because you too should be sound enough in mind to understand that all you can do is because Canelo-Plant has to make that shit real, bruh. Come on, man. Yep, Ryan Garcia doesn't have mental health problems. He has fragile emotions outside of his social media bubble. These are facts. And see, here's a big problem with a lot of these clown ass dudes, right? Fighters, fight fans. Cause see, here's the thing. Y'all have seen me in action When I told y'all when I started this shit, yo, I'd ask the tough questions. If I was in front of these dudes, I ain't treating them no different than I'm talking on here. Y'all seen me in action with that shit. So y'all know my shit don't waver. But when it comes to a lot of these dudes, they sit in front of social media and they try to portray themselves as one way. But if you take that shit away from them, who are they? Who are they? When it comes to this shit called real life, because this shit right here in this box ain't real. Life is real. Your family is real. You know what I mean? Your people is real. But if you going out of your way to try to impress a bunch of emoticons, emojis, a bunch of comments that just fly in the section and shit because you want to try to appeal a certain way while you got on these leather gloves and shit, it's not real unless it's in a boxing ring with me. But a lot of these younger guys, the generation coming up now, they try to make it real based off of social media accolades. Like, bro, I could fucking do a whole lot of shit on social media to make myself look like something I'm not. Ryan Garcia has done it. Then when it came time to show and prove, we have seen that he's nothing more than a fucking poop emoji. He's a poop emoji. No question. No question. Like I said, I give it 5 to 8, 5 to 8, 5 to 10. That's definitely correct. That's definitely correct. I don't know what type of shots Canelo-Plant could take to the body. Has he ever been hit by anybody that makes sense? Has he? Who the fuck has Canelo-Plant been hit by? What type of adversity has Canelo-Plant faced to make you say, you know what? That motherfucker don't when he get hit in the body. That motherfucker don't when he get hit in the body. Who the fuck is he for? Pound salute. Who is he for? What type of adversity has Canelo-Plant faced? What type of individual has Canelo-Plant been in front of to make you say, you know what? I've seen that nigga bite down. So when it comes to Canelo, he gonna bite down. Look, Slim, if Jose Usakagi can make you, then Canelo gonna make you, oh my God. Canelo's gonna make you, oh my God. What more can I say? What more can I say? What is he gonna do? Can Canelo-Plant bite down? Does he have the ability to bite down? I mean, shit, you fresh enough to where you should be able to bite down. He might look, man. He think look, you can look at Canelo body of work and see, and look, man, I'm critical of his body of work, but at the end of the day, he fought guys. You know what I'm saying? It ain't like he's fighting complete scrubs out here. Canelo fighting champions. You know what I'm saying? Some champions I can respect. Other guys that I just, fuck them niggas. Them niggas is old. Them niggas is washed. But Canelo has fought a lot of guys. And look, it's the consistent body of work that carries consistently, that is so piled up that you can't even see Canelo-Plant. Like Canelo's fucking accomplishments and world title defenses and the world champions that he has fought is piled up so high you can't even see Canelo-Plant. Who is he? Where is he? I'm trying to sift through all of Canelo's accomplishments to even see the kid. So you gonna learn today. And that's the problem, motherfuckers. You take the shit that Canelo's saying, you take that shit for granted. And absolutely you should be confident. But if I'm Canelo-Plant's trainer and I got any sense, you know how Canelo-Plant's supposed to fight this fight if he wants to win? I'm gonna tell y'all straight up. This is the only way I see Canelo-Plant fighting this fight and winning. Boop, 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 boop. Boop, 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 boop. And then reset. Bop, 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 bop. And every time he try to throw some hot shit, step inside that shit, grab him and reset. Get back to it. Get back to it. Boop, 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 boop. Reset. That's all you can consistently do. I don't know. That's the only thing you can tell Caleb. I could tell. That's the only way I could train him in that fight. Stay long, stay rangy. You're the taller fighter. Barrages and punches and combinations. I would make sure his wind is at an all-time high. He's going to have to punch in bunches. He's gonna have to punch in hella bunches, and he's gonna have to fucking reset, bro. Time up, reset. That should be the only story in this fight. Get yours off. What y'all want me to say? Like, goddamn, I think spit just flew out my mouth. Yeah. Ew. Hold up. Ew. That shit was nasty. But yeah, man, what more can I say? Andrew Tucker, shout out to my brother, man. Been loving the content lately, bro. Keep that shit cranking, bro. I think some of your your lives, I really, really love your lives when you do the lives during the fight. When you call in the fights, them shits is hella intense, bro. I love what you're doing, man. Keep climbing, brother. Keep climbing. Yeah, man. But what else Slim gonna do? You got to punch on that boy, and you got to reset. Punch on him, time up, reset. Punch on him, time up, reset. That's the only thing you can do. That boy has been through some life-altering shit the past couple of years. I hope he comes out with the pit bull and the gunpowder attitude that does exactly what you said. Make it ugly, scrap, not boxing, man. Bro, man, Caleb, look, man. And here's the thing, right? And I don't want to get it twisted and all of what the fuck I'm saying. Like I'm just some Canelo-Plant hater or nothing like that. I just hold people accountable. You know, Canelo-Plant definitely has a skill set. And it has a skill set that would be tremendously advantageous to a guy like Canelo Alvarez, because Canelo don't have feet. He don't. Canelo is so gifted and so high IQ as a fighter. Canelo understands that he works well within the realms of his ability, and he don't go outside of that. So you're not going to understand that Canelo truly don't have no footwork. Nigga, got bum leg, man. I'm just saying, Canelo is very studious in making sure that he positions himself close to mid-range from you so he can so all his head movement and all of that shit makes sense. Canelo-Plant has a skill set. He can punch in combinations, and he does exercise a level of movement. All I'm saying is that shit's gonna have to be at an all-time high. He's really gonna have to fucking get off on some, okay, you gotta compare it to this. Sugar Ray, Roberto Duran, Sugar Ray, Marvin Hagler. And I know people feel a certain type of way about the Hagler versus Sugar Ray fight. This ain't about if the shit happened too late. This ain't about if y'all motherfuckers feel as though Marvin Hagler won right now. This is just about how he fought that fight. And that's the type of fight Canelo-Plant has to fight if he wants success. So all you Hagler fans, which I am one of the biggest Hagler fans, I don't want to hear shit about how you felt the outcome of the fight right now. This is about trajectories and visualizing your win right now. So that's all we're doing. We're trying to visualize a win for Canelo-Plant. We don't have to do that with Canelo. We know what he's going to do. He's going to try to dominate him on the front foot, fly off hooks, and make sure he gets inside of his wheelhouse. Why wouldn't he? That's what he does. That's how he destroys you. He destroys you with that timing and punching inside that pocket to where you're letting that shit go. You're gonna have a level of extension with that right or left arm. And then where's Canelo gonna be? Right up in here. What did I say a few minutes ago? You're gonna offer him guts, you're gonna offer him intestines, liver, kidneys, abdomen, motherfucking what? Fucking pelvic bones, eye sockets, cheeks. That's what Canelo-Plant has to offer. And those are the things, but all of this right here is everything Canelo aims for. Ain't going to aim for. All I'm saying is, I believe that Eris Landry Lara is way more tricky than a Sweet Hands Plant. So what is he going, what can you bring that he ain't seen before? And that's why we have to judge fighters off of competition. We have to judge fighters off who they fought, and not a dude who sat around for 2 years fighting the fucking most crummy fucking fighters he could find within that time. I ain't with that shit. I ain't with that shit. Like you, bro. Keep up the great work. 2 hands in the great work when your edits have me crying, but with awesome breakdowns, you a beast, bro. I appreciate that, man. I'm just trying to consistently get better. You know, like I'm trying to make my edits. I'm trying to make my lives just as great as my edits, and that's about to come too. I'm about to invest into the lives a lot more as well. But you know, my editing, I try to make that a point. I'm my own biggest critic, man, and I go out of my way to make that shit hit on all levels. You know what I'm saying? I try to make everything match on all levels. You know, I try to make everything hit just as hard. You know, but it's kind of hard. I already know, you know, motherfuckers. I already know I'm not gonna be able to compete with the editing I'm doing. Y'all already done pretty much stamped and done put a label on, you know, how that shit is. So I ain't even gonna try to compete with that. It is what it is. Boxing God, what's up with the bro? LeBron, what's goody, King? Canelo going for the organs. I'm telling you, man. I'm telling you, it's going to be a whole lot of internal bleeding going on. It's going to be a whole lot of internal bleeding going on, my friend. Whole lot of internal bleeding. Internal bleeding, my friend. Whole lot of that. Like Canelo, just that type of nigga where he, come here, boy. Come here, boy. And so I'm just looking for Canelo to go out and do what Canelo does, man. I'm just looking for him to go out and do what Canelo does. And that's go out there and eat his food. He gonna go out there and eat his food. Sorry. Sorry. Not sorry. Sorry. And there's the deal, right? This is the beauty about that situation because, you know, I have to make sure that I separate these points for a lot of these casual dickheads out here in this toxic fandom that we have in boxing. This is in no way a disrespect to Canelo-Plant because if Canelo-Plant wins that fight, oh my God. Oh my God. Roses. Plenty of them. And I'm more than happy with eating crow. That's what people don't understand about me. I am more than okay with eating crow because if there was another dynamic or another element of greatness that's presented to the other side of the boxing ring, especially somebody we know is a complete underdog, how can you be a boxing fan and not have love for the underdog? I'm not picking sides. This is just analytics with me, hypothetical analytics. And if I'm basing it off of all of the things that I've seen, who am I going to go with? I run a channel. What am I supposed to say? I run a channel. I have to tell you guys that I think he's going to get dogged. If I think he's going to get dogged. And if I think he's going to be victorious, I'm going to tell you guys that. Does Canelo-Plant have a chance? Yes. So I'm not taking that away from him. But for me, it's a 75-25. Once again, when you have nothing to go off of, it makes you very, very critical. Like it makes you like, and Keith Thurman even said that shit to a certain point aspect when he was speaking on Bud and Sean Porter. When you're a critic, a lot of the times you're gonna come off as an asshole. You're not gonna have any form of critique in the boxing world without leaving some form of a sour taste in somebody's mouth. It's impossible. Fans favor somebody, and that's quite okay. There's nothing wrong with that. I'm gonna leave a sour taste in anybody's mouth because my interpretations are gonna come off a lot different than, you know what I'm saying, your average bear. So, with that being said, I would love to give Canelo-Plant all of the praise in the world for if he goes out and does what a lot of people would consider the impossible. Is it impossible? No. I just don't know if he possesses that type of thing that I would say that makes Manny Pacquiao great, that made Sugar Ray Leonard great, that made Pretty Boy Floyd great, that made another great one, and a guy of the same color, Joe Calzaghe great. I don't know. That's what, like, you have to show me, dude. Yo, Caleb, bruh, you gotta show me. I just don't know, fam. I don't know. So I just need you to show me. And honestly, I'm looking at your core and it looks strikingly weak. So I just don't know. So if it comes off that you amass a level of greatness and you come out with your hand raised in that fight, bruh, I owe you all of the roses in the world on Reaper Gang Radio, and y'all know how I chop that shit up in the editing room. So it'll be motherfucking dope. And all you're going to see is Canelo in slow motion. If it ends up like that, everybody know I'll do it. But you got to show me first, man. On Reaper Gang Radio, this is the show me station. You got to show me. Because I don't know what to go off to say, hey, bro, you got this shit. Derek Harris, salute. What's goody with the bro? Made plans to go to Vegas for that Crawford fight earlier. Oh, I should have made plans to go to Vegas for that Crawford fight earlier. Man, look, man, I'm still trying to figure out my way and getting out there, but I'm so tapped with my with the hot water heater and shit like that, man. I just don't know how I'm gonna get there. Like Mob and Boom going out their way to like motherfucking them niggas was like, look, it's like all you gotta do is just get a plane ticket. They was like, just get a plane ticket. Nigga, you gonna sleep here? We already bought your motherfucking fight ticket. You getting the fuck out here. Nigga, I'm ready to do this and this and this and make sure you get out here, because it's like, for me, it's bigger than just watching the fight. I champion for Bud Crawford. I don't think there's nobody who championed for Bud Crawford harder than me outside of Julius, man. Ring IQ. Boone as well. But for real, I've always championed for Terence Crawford. Niggas, when niggas was flip-flopping, wishy-washy, saying he pound for pound, then acting like he ain't never done nothing in a sport. And you can go back to, if I wanted to do the research and the homework, I could pull up a lot of y'all favorite niggas and show you that they wishy-washy. But I ain't gonna do that. Two hands ain't here to ruffle motherfucking pink feather, flamingo feathers. I'm not here to ruffle flamingo feathers. I'm not trying to do that. I'm just trying to be honest. That's all. So, you know, knowing that I champion for this dude the way I champion for this dude, man, like, for me, like, I wanted to get out there, do all of the lives out there joint, catch my interviews, give y'all the full atmosphere, the match, and all of that shit. So I'm still busting my ass trying to figure out how I'm getting out there. Because for real, if Mob and Boom, because I ain't never been no charity nigga. Y'all know how I am. I don't even ask y'all for super chat. So, like, none of that shit. I've never done it. So for me, it's more or less, yo, I got to get out there. Them boys is going out of their way to try to make, you know what I'm saying, try to help me get out there, man. You know what I'm saying? I ain't going to take that shit for granted, man. I'm definitely going to try to make it out there on fight day. But it is what it is. But as far as the fight is concerned, statements must be made. Yeah. Yeah, statements must be made. And they have to be made because of y'all motherfuckers. Yeah. They gotta be made because of y'all motherfuckers, man. Man, I would love to have Andre. Matter of fact, I reached out to him one time because he sent me a tweet based on what he got going on. He in some movie or something like that, or shooting some short film. So he sent me a tweet. So I was trying to reach out to him to get an interview with him then. But yeah, I would love to get that. Yeah, man, it don't look like the boy got no core. And here's the thing about the body, Rottweiler. Like, you got to have convincing punchers to convince me that you have a core. You know, and I've never seen Canelo-Plant fight a motherfucking convincing puncher or anybody convincing. Now, see, here's the thing. If you would have fought David Benavidez and you would have went through that fucking gauntlet of fire, which a lot of niggas be avoiding like the plague from hell, dog, I'd give this nigga all credit in the world. I probably would say this fight is 50-50. If he would have beat a David Benavidez, which is his stablemate, who resides at 168 right with him, if he would have beat that dude, I would be more than happy to say it's a 50-50 fight. and that the nigga got a core. Because the one thing I know about David Benavidez, that motherfucker gonna punch you everywhere, and that shit gonna hurt. And his barrages and combinations and his front foot game don't stop. And honestly, I feel like David Benavidez got a more ferocious front foot game than Canelo does. That's just how I feel about it. I mean, he's big, he's strong, he's fast, and he just don't give a fuck. Like, I feel like exactly. Oh, my bad. You sent one. My bad, King. Appreciate you with the super chat, bro. He said, I said it earlier, bro. Caleb weak to the body. Caleb might win the first 3 rounds before Canelo starts attacking the body and making adjustments. And that's probably like the soundest way to approach, any type of hypothetical opinion on what's going on, Andrew. Because honestly, yeah, he might find success early. Shit, Billy Joe found success early, but Billy Joe found the goddamn fucking stool. He found the goddamn stool in the later rounds. Come on, man. So for me, Drew, I feel you, fam. It's no different. He found, BJS has, blowjob Sanders, fam. He found some success early, then he went no mas late. So is he cut from the same thing Billy Joe Saunders is cut from? I don't know. Billy Joe Saunders has fought the Andy Lees of the world. He's fought the Lemieux of the world. He's fought, goddamn it, I'm even going to feel some type of way even saying this, the Chris Eubanks of the world. Shit. Damn. Canelo-Plant ain't even fought a Chris Eubanks. What? Don't call me a hater. Just call me honest. God damn it. Has he fought a Chris Eubanks? That's sad, man. Has the nigga fought a Chris Eubanks? I don't know. No, I do know. No. So what more can I say, man? Like, that dude, he don't gotta be a Joel Diaz train of thought. He already got it in him. Like Joel said, shout out to Joel. Like Joel said, one of my favorite trainer in boxing. Like he said, fucking Canelo-Plant is gonna get destroyed. He said he's gonna get destroyed. Yo, Bozzy. He says too strong, too powerful. That's another underrated fucking trainer right there. That's an underrated motherfucker right there. Bozzy, that's an underrated trainer right there. Yo, nasty boots, nasty. 147 is on notice right now. I'm telling you that. But you want to know who need to fight? Boots Ennis and Virgil Ortiz. Then the winner of that fight gets a title shot. Boom, boom, boom. Rayman, hold on. I just saw something else. I'm gonna read all these shits. No bullshit. Shout out to Rottweiler. He said Ray Mancini said that the only reason Billy Joe lasted 8 rounds is because he is southpaw and that Plant is getting battered. Yeet. Hey, what am I supposed to say? Ray Mancini, former world champion, former great lightweight of the 80s, I believe. Just a good boxing mind, man. Sometimes he gets a little delusional based on the PBC, but this is definitely a situation where he's seeing fucking straight, man. Like, dude, you can't sit on your ass fighting the bum of all bums for 2 years and then think that this shit is gonna amount to something. I'm sorry, dog. 12 rounds with Caleb Tracks is all I needed to see, man. Oh, blowjob Saunders. But blowjob Saunders got a hell of a better resume than damn near 80% of the individuals, 90% of the individuals at 168 pounds. Honestly, the only person that's got a better resume than blowjob Saunders at 168 pounds is Canelo. What's y'all motherfuckers acting up about? We're still waiting for the zone to put Canelo blowjob Saunders fight out, especially that corner, the corner mics from the 8th round. That's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying. Your man got a lot of explaining to do. Or he just gonna ride off in the sunset with his 7-8 million. I think we know the answer to that. That motherfucker gonna be eating rabbits, riding four-wheelers, hunting and shit back on his compound. I don't know if Billy Joe gonna come back. And then what does Canelo do? Canelo's plan supposed to be after he unify. Look, here's the thing. Canelo says his plans after going undisputed at 168 pounds is to climb to 175 and go up there. But is he really? I don't know. I don't know. He went up there once, but he went up there against a straight up dead man. I mean a dead man. So will he go up there and because he's got the build, he's got the power. I mean, his walk around weight definitely signifies that, yo, you definitely can be up there. But is he going to relinquish those titles and go up to 175? I just don't know. But when you're, how I'll put this, when you're a fighter who is in the position that a Canelo Alvarez in, and you garner the biggest pays in boxing, you have to fight the competition. If you don't, all that money and shit go out the window. Nobody don't want to see you fight no bums, man. When you're supposed to be the best fighter or pound for pound fighter in the world, nobody's going to want to keep seeing you fight duds, man. People going to want to see you fight dogs. And I'm not saying Canelo-Plant is a dud. I'm just saying he's an unproven fighter. Out of all, even right now, we still had to say that. Billy Joe Saunders being more accomplished than Canelo-Plant, I probably would have picked Billy in that fight. But you know, he's just unproven, dude. Like that whole 168 run, I commend him for getting the titles. But if David Benavidez would have been on that bill, I have nothing more to say. Even though we can say that he took himself out of the bill, I'm just saying, man, like we're all boxing fans here. A majority of us I would like to consider hardcore. So if you're a hardcore fan and you wouldn't have a problem, what I'm saying is that 168 run is something that is like, okay, you did it, but in the grand scheme of things, it was lackluster. That's all I'm saying. Yo, shout out to Josue. Shout out to Josue. Josue picking up his teeth off the ground just like his fucking body. Dumbass. Talked all that shit. I told him, I was just sitting there quiet. I was like, yo, Zepeda gonna beat the shit out you, Slim. Like Zepeda gonna beat, I knew Zepeda was gonna knock him out too. I'm like, dog, you dumb. You like, dog. Like Josue didn't have no advantages in that fight. Okay, you can move. Jose can move too. Okay, you think you can punch? Jose, we know can punch. We know can punch. He didn't have no advantages going in that fight. And you were dealing with a much more experienced fighter. I don't even think Josue got 20 fights. I think he got 13 fights on his fucking belt. You're dealing with a much more experienced fighter, a fighter who was gifted on your level, with probably packs a much more of a wallet than you do, and he mollywopped you. He mollywopped you, had you seeing stars and shit. The only thing you were saying out of your fucking mouth while you were asleep out there, bitch, was Orion's belt, Little Dipper, Big Dipper, because your fucking brains were stuck somewhere in the goddamn galaxy. Some of them a bitch. Yeah, I'm harsh with my critique. I don't give a fuck. Y'all know that. We ain't like them other guys and shit. Oh, you can't cuss over here. Oh, we got to keep it clean. You make sure you clean your drawers before you come in here. Like, what the fuck? Clean your potty mouth. Fuck that. I'm a grown ass man. I'm gonna talk that talk. This is my house, and I cuss behind my doors. I cuss in these four walls like a muff. But I ain't no dummy. Zepeda with 26 KOs and experience. Facts. That's what I'm saying, dog. Did we not just watch this man go through it with, you know what I'm saying, with the former WBA champion Ivan Bronchick, who is a hell of a puncher, who is a hell of a brawler, who gave Jose Zepeda everything he was asking for, and he still came out on top. So that speaks to the Canelo-Plant situation as well. You look at a guy like Zepeda, who been through it with an Ivan Baranchyk. If Canelo-Plant would have had an Ivan Baranchyk under his belt or something like that, maybe maybe Duss'E would say, hey man, this thing might be 50-50. But no, like yo, like nobody like really understands like the dumpster juice of opponents this dude has been fighting for his voluntaries. Nobody's understanding the hot dumpster juice of opponents he's been fighting the entirety of his career. You got a lot of younger guys that are coming along fighting a lot of way stiffer competition than this guy at a very early stage in their career. And all I'm saying is, if you're the goods, we don't need 30 fights to know that you're the goods. We don't need 25 fights to know that you're the good. We know that you're the goods from day one. Now we just need you to prove that you're great. It's never been proven over on that side. As a matter of fact, he made himself look dumb as shit. Salute to George with the super chat. He says, fantasy fight, Joe Calzaghe. Man, Joe Calzaghe burns that nigga up. No question. Canelo probably won't even win a round. And I would bet my motherfucking house on that shit. I mean that shit. We talking prime Joe Calzaghe. Man, fuck that. It ain't gotta be prime Joe Calzaghe. We talking Joe Calzaghe versus Canelo. He ain't got a chance. Canelo don't stand a fucking chance. I don't care what nobody say. I don't care how much you love him. Joe Calzaghe whoops the shit out that nigga. Easy work. The combinations, the footwork, the dog in him, like the IQ, the motherfucking the bolos, the awkward angles, the fucking the weird looks that he gives you in the fight, the pivoting, like yo, no sir. And the crazy thing about it is Joe Calzaghe don't gotta motherfucking get dirty to make that shit look ugly. And what I mean by that, he don't got to be super intimate to make that shit look ugly. Joe Calzaghe can stay outside comboing the shit out this nigga. And eventually that head he going to go to sleep, man. He going to look like he doing it. That head going dab his ass right to sleep. Cal on another level, man. Y'all talking about one of my favorite fighters. It ain't no fluke he went undefeated, man. Cal on another level. I'm talking about he competed with all of the best of them, with all of the best of the abilities, bro. And niggas gotta remember, he fought B-Hop. He fought B-Hop with a short shoulder. He didn't even want to fight. His daddy forced him to fight that fight. Forced him. Because he said, yo, they gonna drag you in the media. The fans gonna drag you, whoop-de-whoop. And that's the shit I wish was still the same about boxing to this day. To this day. That's the difference. Like, yo, the push, the understanding of what it means to be great and what legacy and what the value of your legacy really means, man. The push. Why don't these niggas got the same push? Why don't they got the same heart, the same mindset, the same want? And look, yo, I guarantee when they look back at the fights back then, trickling on down, I guarantee you, I almost promise y'all niggas that them motherfuckers look at that shit like, too deadly, too fast, too much contact, and them niggas was hitting way too hard. Like, honestly, more so than none, like, yo, the top 15, top 20 contenders from the 70s all the way up to the fucking late 90s, them niggas would give these champions an ass whooping and a run for their money. Am I lying? Because the level of competition was monster different. Monster different. Joe, you literally had to be on another level of great if you wanted to be a world champion. And now, I don't fucking know, dude. I don't know. I don't really know if these dudes are really made of the same genetic makeup of those type of guys, man. Because, like, look at them. What the fuck? Man, he beat the shit out that boy, man. Beat the shit out that boy. That's why when it's like, yo, when you measure Canelo in his greatness, I'm like, man, look, if that nigga had a problem, If Floyd made that nigga look silly, stupid, and dizzy, Joe Calzaghe would have stopped him. What's up? What's up? If Floyd made Canelo look that crazy, Calzaghe would have stopped him. Stopped him. I would bet anything I got on that shit. He would have stopped him. The dog is different, Slim. The dog is way different. And that's why when I look at these dudes, motherfuckers think I'm so harsh. Bro, when I was a kid, it was different. Like I'm still a young man, but at the same time, when I was a kid, what they was doing compared to what y'all doing, and what the top 10s was doing then compared to what y'all was doing, man, come on, man. What the top 15s, top 20 was doing when y'all compared to what y'all doing, come on, man. It's just different in this shit. Y'all niggas don't like getting touched. Them niggas welcome that shit. It's almost like, yo, more smoke, more fire, more better. That shit was always more smoke, more fire, more better. Now, is there a couple of motherfucking fighters I feel as though, like, yo, I would love to see how they would have fared against them guys? Absolutely. I would even like, man, look, Canelo would have been okay. But when you got the Roy Joneses, the Bernard Hopkins, and the goddamn Calzaghes and them niggas of the world, he don't win. He don't win. Because that's the epitome of slicks, punch power, and barrages. Like, Canelo would be sitting there complaining to the crowd, trying to do the same shit he did against Laura that motherfuckers want to give him credit for, but they not being realistic, that he was just completely getting outboxed and there was nothing he could do other than play to the thousands of fans that he got and make it look like Laura's running from this nigga like he ain't. Like he ain't sidestepping and hooking the shit out this nigga all night. Motherfuckers and the crowd go crazy. Look, that would have been that shit times 10. So what is he going to do? Is he going to sit there and motherfucking sit in the middle of the ring and cry with Joe Calzaghe because he couldn't touch him? What? Was motherfuckers going to sit and accept the fact that he couldn't sit? He would have to sit in the middle of the ring and Roy Jones, he couldn't touch him? What? Would motherfuckers sit up there and bitch about the fact that when he sits in the middle of the ring, motherfucking Bernard Hopkins, he can't touch him? The game is different, yo. It's different, man. It's different. It's different. Salute to George once again with the super chat. He said Prince Nassim versus age 126. He beats him. He beats him. He beats him. They're not like I don't know, man. I don't know. Prince Nassim in his prime. Prince Nassim in his mom was in his prime was a master tactician, extremely awkward. It's something that you try to train for, but you don't know what you're gonna get in the ring when you fight him. You don't know if you're gonna get a guy who's fighting with his hands in front of him, that's coming trying to break you, or you're getting a guy that's gonna have his hands at his side, swinging and moving with the swag, moving all around you, and befuddling you and making you look really bad. I think Gary Russell. I don't know, man. I don't know, man. I don't know. Like, I really don't know. Maybe Gary. Shakur, quite possibly. I just don't know, man. These kids don't operate the same. And once again, it goes through consistency with the level. Like, now, I'll lend credit to those dudes that saying, hey, I'm raising my hand. I'm willing to fight everybody. I want to fight everybody. Miguel, salute. I'm going to fight everybody. But I just don't. Mickey Dub, what's popping with you? I just don't know. Because it's like, yo, like, it's like with the guys that's willing to fight everybody, I give them a different level of respect and try to gauge them a little bit differently when it comes to the greats at 126, the greats at 130, 135, et cetera, those times. But it's like when you look at them, when you look at these guys now, all you get is a level of apprehension. It's like crazy apprehension out of these guys. So when it lets me know that you're apprehensive, with what you got going on right now, that tells me that you wouldn't survive in boxing then, because you didn't really have a room to be apprehensive. And if you were a champion and you didn't fight a guy that called you out, you got ran the fuck up out the game. Like, period. Like, a duck was something that you couldn't live down. You got ran up out the game, and you just were completely, your stock, like, yo, if you didn't fight somebody in the 90s, 80s, 70s, whatever, like, yo, real rap, you lost a lot of stock behind that shit. You lost a lot of stock behind who you ducked, and then more viewership, because we didn't have Twitter, Instagram, YouTube, none of that shit. A lot more viewership you're lending that to them, because you ain't willing to take the fights. Like, man, that ducking shit was unacceptable, man. That shit was unacceptable for fans. They might beer can the fuck out your motherfucking ass when they see you. For real. Ducking, lack of effort, giving up early, walk up out of that ring if you want to. You think them knuckles hit you. Shit, that motherfucker's gonna beer can the shit out your motherfucking ass. Better be lucky they got rid of them beer cans. Because they gonna cup the shit out your motherfucking ass. Navarrete fucked up Joey Gonzalez. That was a good fight. That was a good fight. But Navarrete just showed once again that it's just like, yo, too strong, too long. Joel Gonzalez, average opponent, stands no chance against a Navarrete. He was average as fuck against Shakur, and he average as fuck against, and Navarrete just destroyed him. Shakur went 12 rounds when Navarrete just embarrassed him, destroyed him. I want to see Trinidad versus Corte back in the day. Ooh. Ike Corte versus Felix Trinidad. Damn. Yeah, they definitely do. Look, you can love a rep, like right now, love that shit as much as you want to love it. But understand that shit ain't real, bro. Understand that shit ain't real, bro. Like, these dudes' resumes, it's like this. I don't know how anybody can consider any of these guys today, except a couple of them Hall of Famers, because when these old dudes is only willing to fight one guy, they fight one guy, then they fight a whole bunch of scrubs in between. If they mandatory come up, oh man, I gotta entertain my mandatory. Like, that's a problem. And then they fight another scrub, or they sit around and position themselves to try to find the right Latino fighter, because they know they bring in the crowd. They base the fight off of race, how it brings in the crowd, or they base that shit off of, okay, fight a bunch of bums, fight one good guy. We're gonna do real good promotion, pumping you and gaslighting the fuck out of you, and living off of that type of reputation and interpretation. The motherfuckers ain't hall. These dudes not Hall of Famers to me. The only Hall of Fame I'm seeing right now is Manny Pacquiao, Vasily Lomachenko, Terence Crawford, of course Canelo, but Anthony Joshua. But what have these dudes done for me to lend credit to put them in the pantheons of greats? If your era is ass, then you should motherfucking have, like, they should have an ass cheeks wall of fame or some shit like that. They should have like the ass cheeks of fame, or they should have the skid mark of fame, or they should have the fucking the fucking nut sweat of fame, or they should have, oh yeah, definitely can't leave out Usyk. My bad. They would have the straight foot cheese of fame. How about that? The foot cheese of fame. How about that? Give those guys that, and let them stand proudly in the foot cheeks of fame, in the foot cheese of fame. We can give them a nice foot cheese of fame, send them niggas off with a nice presidential farewell and say, hey, thank you for not contributing shit to the sport that we love. How about that? How about that? That's a really good way to go about it. The fucking foot cheese of fame. Because, I mean, these dudes, they're not great. And I'm never going to call them that. And as long as motherfuckers tune into this shit, Y'all gonna tune into me because I'm keeping it a stack. Y'all gonna tune into me because I hold people more accountable than the others, or you gonna tune into me because I expect more and y'all expect more. That's the most important thing. We expect more out of these crops of fighters because the most unfortunate shit is they have a lot of great talent moving around. But all I see these niggas is in the foot thongs of fame, man. Cause they ain't do nothing but flip flop. Bunch of foot thong ass niggas, man. Said this era is ass because of the rise of homosexuality. Hey man, I might think some of them niggas are injecting female hormone. You got Errol Spence trying to kiss light skinned niggas in the mouth as often as he can get. I think that nigga like motherfucking teddy bears, man. Shame on these niggas, man. Shame on these Negroes. The fucking foot thong. I can't even believe I'm saying this shit about boxing out my mouth right now. The foot thongs of fame. And I really mean that shit too. Because it's just an embarrassment. It's an embarrassment to everything that the sport has been built on. And then all of the motherfucking luxuries these dudes have today, they should be more willing to motherfucking fight that much harder. They should be more willing. Look, if you think about the pay boxing has right now, and these dudes are still getting paid, like imagine if they really fought who they supposed to fight, how much money would really be flourishing around boxing right now. Two thumbs down for this era. I definitely respect that. I have no quarrels. I have no quarrels against his confidence. Basically, the way I titled that shit on Twitter earlier was based off of something that he said on Fight Hype, that he was just being completely dismissive of this dude's power, like it's not something to worry about. My whole thing with Canelo-Plant is I have nothing to gauge this dude off of because he ain't fought nobody. So, you know, I would love to respectfully say, hey, this is a 50-50 fight. This is a 60-40 fight. This is a 70-30 fight. This is a 70, like, I can't even do that because he's going to have to make me a believer. And I don't want a nigga that's going to go in there and lay down. But the way I feel about it is you sat around for 2 years, you didn't fight no competition. And then when I look at your resume, voluntaries and mandatories, like we all know the type of relationship the WBA has with the PBC. So why wouldn't you get a Fogging Boots for a mandatory? Why wouldn't you be sitting around for 2 years fighting the fucking crummies of the goddamn division? Like, bro, you didn't even put nobody of significance under your belt. And all I'm saying is, it would have been a 50-50 fight to me if he would have fought David Benavidez and beat him. Because I really feel like there's something behind Canelo saying you ain't gonna fight no Mexican fucking fighters. How stupid is that? You don't want to fight David Benavidez. That's what it is. You don't want to fight David Benavidez. I don't give a fuck what nobody say. Dog, it's a consistent pattern of shit that be going on with that dude that niggas like to avoid all day long. And that's because they wake up in the morning, smelling that nigga drawers. That's it. You know what I mean? And for me, I expect I expect dudes to be great. Hold on, man. My bad, guys. Somebody was coming to send me their farewells through going out of town. Yo, rock with Plant. Like, yo, rock with him, D. Hodges. Rock with that dude hard. Because look, I don't want nobody to sit up here and say two hands don't like the dude. I don't want nobody to sit up here and say two hands is adverse to Plant success. I'm not. I like Caleb. I like his style. I like his swag. I think he got a sweet boxing ability. But here's the deal. What has he done for me to sit up there and be like, yo, he got a chance to win this fight? It's just one of them things where you got to make me a believer. And if you make me a believer and you become an achiever, that means I become an appreciate. I'm appreciative of what you put forth in the game. And then I can start speaking on you a certain way. That's all. When it comes to this sport here in boxing, it's not a team sport. It's mano y mano. And that's how greatness is supposed to be personified. It's supposed to be personified on what you've done and what you've accomplished. And in the world of boxing, when you consider Jose Utakagi a boogeyman, I'm sorry, bro. Then Caleb, once again, then Canelo must be the freaking, I don't know what, Baba Yaga, John Wick. We got to remember this. Jose Utakagi was the boogeyman. So I don't even know what the hell Canelo is. I don't think Canelo-Plant is as slick as he think he is, and I don't believe he's gonna be able to handle the skilled pressure of Canelo. See, and that's something that you can say with wholehearted honesty because I haven't seen the footwork translate to what the hand speed is. Like, yo, the way he puts forth his combination, the way he punches in bunches and stuff like that, great. But I haven't seen anything outside of that to say, hey, there's something here that I recognize that's going to say that, hey, man, Plant 50-50 in this situation. His footwork isn't like an anomaly. I haven't necessarily seen him moving around the ring with that Lara-esque kind of movement. You know what I mean? If he had that to go with the output, then, yo, this would be a completely different fight. But he's gonna have to show me some of these things. Point blank, period, man. He gotta win. He gotta win. If he don't win, then what? It was what we thought it was. His record was what we thought it was. There ain't nothing different. Yeah, Triple G definitely clearly won the first fight. And that's what I'm saying. The draw, the second was a draw to me. Like, yo, they robbed Triple G to get his dude a chance. You got to understand, Canelo is the king of 117 to 110. He's the king of that shit. Like, 117, like, he's just he's the king of getting 117 cards when he don't deserve them. All I'm saying is, when you fight that guy, you have to understand that you're going up against a lot of stuff that people are truly, you're gonna have to go up against a lot of stuff that we know is sus, but then you gotta go up against a lot of stuff that we know is real. Like, we really know Canelo can bang. We really know Canelo is a top level efficient fighter. We really know Canelo got a certain type of dog in him. And when you punch him, he bites down and he gets extremely mean. We really know Canelo is an aggressive body puncher. We know that Canelo likes to operate up close and wilt you like roses, you know what I'm saying? Going through they rejuvenating process. Like, so when we know this, it's like, what? Like, come on, man. Canelo is like, yo, and maybe the PBC knows this as well, but the PBC is in a position where they can't turn down that type of money, man. They couldn't. I just hope Canelo-Plant is all of the things he said out of his mouth right now, because you said a lot, and you're going to have to back up a lot. And if you don't back those things up, bro, you're going to have a lifetime of a lifetime of replays that you're never going to live down. You're going to have a lifetime of chops and edits that people are just going to simply destroy you. I'll raise my hand because I'll be the first to do that. But that's just what we do around here. We hold you accountable. Shout out to Funkadai Boxing 510. He says Caleb Colgate, Paul Marlon Plant, aka Subway Sandwich Boy, getting knocked out in the 7th and 9th. I said he was going down in the 6 to 8. So 7 and 9 is right around where I'm at with it. We all believe when it starts getting on the downside of the rounds, we feel like he's going down as well. And these are solid things. These are solid interpretations simply because we know what we've seen from Canelo time and time again. What the hell have we seen from? What we seen from Plant? What have we seen from Plant? I've seen some Plants, but what have we seen from Plant? I've seen a whole lot of plants. I look out front of my house, I see plants everywhere. Look out in the yard, I see plants. But what have we seen from Plant? Man, for me, dog, I challenge anybody to go watch that fight with the sound off right now. And how the hell can you have Canelo winning? That's all I'm saying. That's all I'm saying. And that ain't nothing against anybody and how they viewed it. But all I'm saying is this. It don't matter. And Laura didn't even take off rounds for real. He just made him look stupid. He made him look dumb. Befuddled him in every sense of the word. If anybody got a love for boxing, I challenge you to go watch that fight with the sound off and tell me how the hell do you see Canelo winning against Eris Landry Lara with a straight face? That's all I'm saying. You watch that fight with the sound off, you can't see him winning in no way, shape, or form because all you're going to see is the styles. And you're going to see a nigga that's looking like a real crybaby in that joint. Mad that he don't have the athletic intangibles to keep up with the style. That's why Canelo ain't never entertained it. He's never entertained it. So it's like, yo, he went through it, man, look. He went through it with Floyd. Laura was the last straw. On my kids, Laura was the last straw. Go watch that fight with the sound off. You see a goddamn cinnamon head crybaby in the middle of the ring, upset that he can't get the job done, nor is he doing what he's supposed to do to get the job done. Anybody else in that same circumstance, they say, yo, you got to do what you got to do to beat the fighter. You got to do what you got to do to beat the fighter. But considering it's the biggest fighter in the world, everybody look at it like, oh, he ran from him. He didn't do what he needed to do in the second half. And I ain't saying this about you, Miguel. I'm just generalizing, just simply, because it frustrates me because I admire and I really cherish the sweet science in every sense of the word. And Laura delivered that and delivered devastating punches and undebatable freaking rounds. And nobody gives it. And how do people see him winning? You want to know why they see him winning? Because their channels benefit from it a lot. And they just overly obsessed fans, bro. It make me sick because there are several times I've watched this dude compromise and nobody with a straight face is willing to admit it. But you want to know the funny thing is, believe it or not, true blue Mexicans are harder on Canelo and some of the biggest Canelo critiques bigger than what American fans are. But it seems like I'm the hater. I can show you several Mexican channels right now that critique him in all honesty of the word. Man, that nigga boxed beautifully. If I would have graded Laura's performance, it was an A-. And the only reason I don't give it an A+, because the only thing I feel like Laura should have did more is even when you slipped and made him look stupid and you hooked off on him, you should have hooked off on him a little bit more because he couldn't fuck with you, period. Why didn't Canelo ever revisit that fight? He knew it was a debatable. He knew the cards was fucked up. Floyd Mayweather, you can't get it back to back. But when this nigga's 40 and all of that shit, 39, 40, now you want to fight him, and now the whole world want to criticize him. But if that nigga was Pretty Boy, he would have knocked you the fuck out. You fought Money May. You fought Laura. Look, that's what I'm saying, bro. He didn't even fight Pretty Boy. He fought Money May. Couldn't touch that motherfucker. Couldn't touch Laura. And for real, I challenge a lot of people to go watch the Austin Trout fight with the Sound Dog. Real shit. Real shit. If I was a teacher and I was giving out homework, I'd say, yo, go watch the Trout fight with the Sound Dog. Go watch the Laura fight with the Sound Dog. Get back to me and tell me I'm bugged out. But niggas don't want to admit that shit, man. Canelo don't revisit where his deficiencies are. He got too much to lose. This is the game when you sit at the top. They gonna do everything. They gonna do everything to keep you out of the position. You can't tell me that Demetrius Andre is a horrible fighter, but you're fighting Canelo-Plant right now. You can't tell me Demetrius Andre is a horrible fighter, and you goddamn won't fight, and you calling out Jamal Charlo. That's what I'm saying, yo. All I ask is like, yo, if we all have conversations, man, let's do that shit genuine, B. Watching fights with the Sound Dogs gives you a real different perspective. Fans sway you, fucking crowd pandemonium sways you, fucking CompuBox sways you, and them goddamn tricking ass goddamn pundits and announcers will sway you. And if you got a giddy bitch, which I'm talking about the toxic fans, if you got a giddy bitch, he gonna do what a giddy bitch do. He's gonna argue with tooth and nail with his wrist limp, head going like this about how he feels as though Canelo won. I just try to be real with it. Yo, niggas can't even deal with the fact, like, you know, boxing is fucked up when niggas can't even deal with the fact that you criticize this man. It is. Shout out to Mickey Dub. He said a year ago you said watch the fights with the Sound Dog, and I do the same, Reaper, and take a whole different perspective. You see the fights through your own eyes and not the commentator. These are facts. When I tell niggas, I'm like, yo, you can form, like, yo, subconsciously and psychologically speaking, you can form a different opinion based off of the opinions of the many. A lot of people don't even like to be of the opinions of the few. And even in mental psychology and in therapy and doing social experiments, the mind, the subconscious, when you're not even speaking, doesn't even like to be the opinions of the few. I literally watched a social experiment where there were 10 people pretending like they were sitting in a doctor's office. 10 of them were a part of it. One of them wasn't. He would literally walk through a door. He sits down. He grabs his paper like everybody else does at the doctor's office. They press a fucking button. Beep. Everybody stands the fuck up. So he's looking at them like they crazy. Beep again, they sit down. Press the button again, they stand up. He looks at them crazy again. The third or fourth time, every individual who was in that position stood the fuck up. Why is that? Because subconsciously, people want to feel like they're getting along. Nobody really wants to be with the alienated individual out of the entirety of the group. It is in human nature, it is in subconscious nature for people to want to go along with the get along. So naturally, when you go against the grain, motherfuckers not going to be behind it. And no matter how truthful it is or not. And for me, it's just a real sickening process because I'm just like, yo, no matter what the fuck I say about Canelo, when I praise him, niggas is in this joke. But when you shit on them, niggas is. Come on, man. Come on, man. When you praise them, niggas they want to hold shake weights. Them motherfuckers got the shake weights when you're praising them. But when you criticize them, you better run for it, run. Like, man, come on, man. And that's where for me, yo, I'll be like, man, I'm meant to stand out in this shit, and I'm meant to have a real fuck you attitude when it comes to this shit. Because people come at me 24/7 about my opinion. Like, yo, you don't know how Oscar Valdez got these niggas in an uproar. When you know a nigga's a cheater, you go out of your way to still defend them. That should tell you everything you need to know about boxing and the direction it goes in right now. It don't matter if these motherfuckers, it don't matter if that nigga popped the pill right when he walked in the goddamn ring and that motherfucker formulated, transformed, got fucking 3 inches taller, arms turning to the fucking 85 Schwarzenegger out this bitch, and motherfucking like pectorals was just straight crazy on some goddamn flexing Lex Luger type shit. Niggas is they gonna be with the shit. You want to know why? Because they okay with it as long as it fit what the fuck they love, man. As long as it fit who they riding for. Nobody want to be wrong in a situation where it shouldn't even matter who wrong or who right. In the world of a fighter, it's upon you to make your way, make your claim, beat who is in front of you, emasculate who calls you out, and stand firm in the realms of sitting in the throne of a champion. Like, yo, you not fighting Mexican fight. You don't want to fight Mexican fighters. You don't want to fight a nigga because he born and all of this shit. Like, bro, so what the fuck was Rocky Field? What the fuck was Rocky Field, man? Come on, man. Come the fuck on, man. I don't want to hear this bullshit. That's why I be going smack crazy about this shit. Cause what the fuck? So Rocky Field ain't boring? So what makes you want to fight fucking Rocky Field, dog? That's what I'm saying. Niggas don't have answers for this shit, but they'll call me a hater. They'll call me a hater quick. And believe it or not, I'm not a hater though. I'm not. Yeah, what's his name? Conceição. He lost that fight. His first title defense at 130 pounds, he lost that shit. So we know he tests motherfucking for fentanyl and shit. And then all of a sudden, motherfuckers want to sweep that shit under the rug. Honestly, for me, I can't even give him credit for the Burchell win. I won't. He cheated. Oh yeah, I love this shit. This is my favorite shit in the world. If it ain't water or Mountain Dew, it's definitely this shit. Man, you gotta stir the pot because Mickey, if everybody is of the same opinion, then all of them motherfuckers is some delusional motherfucking dick sucking liars then. Like, yo, I don't like this channel wasn't meant for everybody to like have the same opinion, bro. And that's why I fuck with y'all so hard. Because we never got the same opinions. But y'all niggas don't like try to discredit a nigga or nothing like that. Y'all be like, okay, if I make points, I make points. If we don't feel each other, we don't feel each other. And that's cool. But tell me how many channels that you go to, everybody gotta be at all these niggas is at the same opinion because they all loving the same dick sucker. I'm at the point where I don't even care. Everybody can get shot. Everybody can get shot will come out of 2 hands pistol. At this point, anybody can get shot. And if anybody got a problem with it, motherfucker, I'll fire on all of y'all motherfuckers. On some boxing shit. Not in real life, of course. You know what I'm saying? You gotta say this shit on here because motherfuckers say, how you gonna run around? You gonna shoot somebody? Shit is weird. Yeah, that shit do bump too. Yo, I'll be on the coconut water too. The shit, my mom got me on that shit. It's some shit that come in a little fucking container. It's like alkaline. It's alkaline coconut water. The shit come in like a little box like this big. I forgot what it's called. I got the shit upstairs. Right, anybody can catch a smoke at this point. My whole thing is It's like when you try to deliver the motherfucker like, yo, how many of y'all motherfuckers was here when H Money was on here with Bill Haney? Wasn't H Money team Bill Haney? Can anybody answer my question? Was H Money boxing team Bill Haney or not? Team Devin Haney. He championed for him everywhere he went. From fucking boxing conversations to any from boxing barbershop conversations to any goddamn boxing conversation. Right or wrong. So how the fuck all of a sudden do you do 30 lives in 1 week with the same goddamn title, talking about Teofimo Lopez versus Devin Haney, trying to suck this nigga Junior dick just so you can get this nigga on your joint? So he get this nigga on the show today. Now all of a sudden, Teofimo Lopez stops Devin Haney. But I got a video where a nigga saying contrary to some different shit on my live. How do you go from team one nigga to team dick sucker for another nigga? And that's the problem with boxers. And these are the type niggas that got more subscribers than me. I don't give a fuck. They meant to have more subscribers than me because the few is going to reside where the real is. The many always ride for the fucking straight circle jerking jack-offs, man, who never keep it a bean. They never keep it a bean. They a bunch of circle jerking jack-offs who can't even sleep good at night without a thumb in their ass because that's the only thing they comfortable with is having a whole full thumb up their ass, lying to the masses, flip-flopping, trying to be team this, then team that. With me, it's never about team nothing. It's about team consistency and character. Character, morals, consistency. Those are the three key things that I stand for. I ain't gonna waver on who I am. You never catch me being a whole different type of character. But that nigga that's the nigga. Niggas like that, and niggas be really riding with their channel, muffing off everything the type niggas are saying. Like, don't get me wrong, I'm cool with the nigga, but I'm not gonna lie to y'all. That shit is monster. That shit is monster fugazi. That shit is monster moissanite fugazi. I just don't like shit like that because it's like, okay, it's cool to believe if you think it might go another way. But when you go to completely disrespecting one side to riding for the other side and talking crazy about the man father, like the man father ain't bring you hella content and all types of shit. Now you want to go to playing full-on dick sucker for Junior Lopez because you think he the next nigga that's going to get you to where you trying to go. Bruh, cut the shit, man. Cut the shit. I don't like that shit, dog. I'll be the first nigga to cut a nigga down behind that shit, too. That shit ain't nothing worse than a dick sucking. Ain't nothing worse than a motherfucker who will suck this nigga dick and then run back and bring AIDS to that nigga dick. Ain't nothing worse than a nigga who gonna suck one dick and then fucking bring the and then go get them and before he get tested, bring the motherfucking AIDS to your dick. Pause. I ain't gay. But I'm just saying though. I'm just saying though. Come on, man. Shit is crazy to me. Shit is crazy. Shout out to Don't Ask Me. He said a lot of people won't give Bud credit until he beats Spence. So maybe Boots would be a good call because he moves the needle right now. But see, the crazy thing is, Boots ain't proven. Thomas Delorme been beat by how many niggas in the past couple years? Thomas Delorme ain't fresh. Thomas Delorme is used goods. Sergey Lipinets is truly a 140-pound fighter. Ayabov definitely ain't somebody you should give credit. Now, do we got all the skills in the world, and do I think he's next up, and do I think he's a threat to anybody in the motherfucking division? Absolutely. But that's not going to get him credit right now because Boots ain't proven. That's going to get him credit on the Chitlin circuit. And I'm here to tell y'all this right now. Even when he knock off Errol Spence, niggas still not going to give him credit. And he might not ever get the opportunity. When he beats Sean Porter, niggas still not going to give him credit. No matter who he beats at 147, These niggas is not gonna give him credit. Rashidi Ellis versus Boots. Boots destroys Rashidi Ellis. Rashidi Ellis ain't even special like that to me. Speedy Rashidi, he knocking him out. Like for real, that's why I said the fight that needs to be made is Virgil Ortiz versus Boots Ennis. And the winner of that fight gets the shot at the title. I got Boots in that fight. I think Boots got too much talent, too much power, too much footwork, too much ability to get caught sleeping by Virgil, man. Virgil can't beat Boots in my eyes. Virgil's a great fighter, but I think Boots beats him. I think Boots beats him up pretty damn easily. And a lot of people going to be like, oh, come on, two-hand. You don't think he got a shot, bro? I know. I watch boxing. And half of the times y'all thought I was crazy with some shit I said. I've been right. So don't think I'm that motherfucking crazy. If Virgil up his defense, up his head movement a little bit more, he might present problems. But if motherfucking Maurice Hooker can touch you the way he was touching you and give you problems like that, bro, Maurice Hooker just a real bony dude. Got his hand and shit broke in that fight. Now, imagine that shit being Boots across from him. Boots solid. And the game plan, mad different. I'm telling you, Bozzy Ennis is the next greatest trainer in boxing, man. Bozzy could have a lot of champions under his belt. Niggas should go to Bozzy, man, because Bozzy knows some shit. Virgil need to amp that D up, and he gonna be a hell of a problem, dog. Hell of a problem. I already see him as a problem for 80% of them niggas. For real, for 88, like 90% of them niggas on guard. But he ain't fucking with Boots, man. He ain't fucking with Boots. And Boots beats Errol Spence too. He knocks him out. He stops him. I think the only fight that I see Boots having some real trouble in is Boots versus Crawford. I think Boots versus Crawford is going to be if the smoke all cleared and there was supposed to be two men standing at 147, it would be Boots and Crawford going for the undisputed championship. If it came down to just talent and if things were to go the way I wanted to move and everybody was fighting, I got Boots and Bud battling for undisputed. Even if Taylor came up and Bud beat him, people would say Bud was weight bully. They'll find a way to degrade everything he does. But the crazy shit about that is, don't ask me, when Bud came up from 135 to 140, he was too small. When Bud came up to 147, they said he wasn't going to pack a punch. He was too small. Keith Thurman out his mouth saying Jeff Long was a true welterweight with true welterweight size who gave Manny Pacquiao hell. Now he backpedaling and saying Terence Crawford ain't never fought no real, genuine welterweights. And they trying to discredit Kell Brooks. But my thing is this. How can all of these dick-sucking channels and all of these dick-sucking fans discredit Kell Brooks after coming off 3 wins, but y'all motherfuckers don't discredit him when he fought Errol Spence right after he fought fucking Triple G? Come on, man. Come on, man. You can't make this shit up. You can't make this shit up. So why ain't Errol Spence get discredited? Because he really fought the broken motherfucking, he fought the broken Kell Brook, the no confidence having Kell Brook, and Kell Brook was styling on him in the fight. So why niggas ain't saying that nigga fought the broken Kell Brook? Because I do believe Kell Brook went up there trying to be great and got his motherfucking melon crack Gallagher by fucking with Triple G. These motherfuckers is cornballs, circle jerking, shake weight having ass niggas, man. Big bunch of circle jerkers, man. How the fuck was Kell Brook broke when Bud fought him, coming off of 3 victories, but this nigga came off a loss to Triple G, Errol fights him, and niggas give him all the praise in the world for it. I'm tired of this shit, man. I'm about to blow a fucking gasket right now. Shit really grinds my gears, B. Like, Bud is the king of the catch and shoot, man. And these niggas know that shit. They know that shit. Bud a problem. And the thing is, they'll do anything just like, okay, why is it that Manny Pacquiao won $40 million to fight Pacquiao, but you'll take $8 million to fight Errol Spence. We already seen in the video that I just made that Sean Porter assesses the motherfucking risk way differently than he assessed Errol Spence because he needed double, quite possibly triple the money that he got from Errol Spence to fight him. He was the WBO mandatory before the WBO and the relationship that they have with Top Rank, because I think Bud and Top Rank forced that motherfucking eliminator because they knew the only way that Terence could get out of it is if he fucking vacated the belt. And we know that ain't happening. So we put Sean Porter in a position to look like a duck. But here's the thing. Top Rank sent him an offer in 2020, sent him an offer of, it was $1 million first. Then they wanted to up the offer to $2 million. He ain't even want to talk. He want to run to the fucking news like a fucking schoolgirl and act like he getting lowball. When in the entirety of his career, his highest payday was $2.5 million. And that was when you were a champion fighting another champion. And who wants to bet this? I'll bet any amount of money that Terence Crawford versus Sean Porter outsells Sean Porter versus Errol Spence. I bet it does. So what is motherfuckers going to say about the Chitlin dinner and him not being able to sell now? What excuse do they have? Where can he run? I'm tired of these motherfuckers, man. I think Crawford was put above Canelo and pound for pound. Most people not like this, so they bash Crawford as much as they can. Yeah, because it's a bunch of racist tribal motherfuckers running around out here that's got Canelo fucking thumbs up their ass. At the end of the day, Canelo is a more limited fighter than Crawford. And if you want to be technically honest, pound for pound was always built for the smaller, more talented guys. I'm just saying, if it's on paper, yeah, Canelo's accomplished a lot, but Bud has accomplished a lot too. Canelo ain't never been undisputed. Canelo always find a way to get out of the motherfucking fights that we want to see him in when it comes to those divisions. He always find a way to wiggle and move his way up here, give an excuse, and everybody buy it because it's Canelo. You always find a way to wiggle an excuse, make an excuse out of this shit, and everybody buy it because it's Canelo. What the fuck can I say? Facts. Facts. Like, it's just funny to me, man. It's funny to me. Niggas are defending the 5 catchweights. Niggas are defending cheating annex. But at the same time, when they talk about the hair follicle test, there's certain stipulations that go with hair follicle test to where when you're cycling off, depending on the date of your hair follicle test, you still have the ability to come up negative. That's what people don't understand. You know, it's so much shit that goes into that cheating shit. Motherfuckers got that shit worked down to a science, bro. And I'm sorry. Your A sample and your B sample, nigga, there's nothing more you can say to me. I don't give a fuck with nobody in the dog. So every fucking fighter since goddamn what? I can go back as far as what? Juan Marquez? I can even go, what? Francisco Vargas? How many other motherfuckers? So everybody is the fucking me? Half of the time, them niggas not even living in Mexico. So what fucking excuse is that? That's a fact. It's just crazy to me, man. I just find the practice of boxing now very disingenuous and hard for me to stomach, man. Because I can't talk to niggas, man. Niggas is supposed to be grown ass men and they act like a bunch of fucking streetwalkers, man. Bunch of fucking streetwalkers. And these channels, they some prostitution ass channels, man. I'm telling you, a lot of these niggas is looking for something. Two hands ain't looking for nothing. I was always a somebody even when I was a nobody. I mean, that's the difference between me and them. Me and them, always different because only strong motherfuckers is going to be able to sit in the room with me. Weak motherfuckers can fucking just come in their channels by droves. Because weak motherfuckers, cowards got to reside with cowards. Strong motherfuckers reside with strong motherfuckers. Only alphas relate with alphas. Betas relate with bigger betas. Guppies. Blowfish. It is what it is, man. Oh yeah, Boots not expensive the fuck out, all the way the fuck out, man. I'm really about to start hosing these motherfuckers down with some real harsh criticism too. I'm just waiting for a motherfucker to step on my feet in a certain way. Cause I got a lot of shit to say about a lot of motherfuckers, cause a lot of niggas in this shit is fake. And the shit that they so-called be standing on be fake. Niggas don't care about boxing around this shit, man. Only a couple people do. Cause if you did, even the motherfuckers you would like, you would criticize them, right or wrong. If you gave a fuck about boxing, even the people you like, you would criticize them. I ain't heard. There's a lot of niggas. There's a lot of channels. I ain't never heard criticize a certain somebody's. You heard? But then everybody swore up and down I was the biggest AJ stan in the world. Well, who's the first to lend them criticism? Nobody. Ain't nobody ever been safe when it comes to me. Because nobody walks around this motherfucker angelic with a fucking halo and a whole aura walking around this bitch like they so above getting this truth, man. Or getting my truth. That's the fight, man. That's the biggest fight at 147. And there's a lot of talent moving around 147 right now. So there's no reason why we should have a clogged pipeline based on Errol Spence. Regardless of whether Errol Spence would Errol Spence think or not, if Boots or somebody become a mandatory for that dude, he's gonna vacate. He won't fight him. He won't fight him. He'll try to find a way to become best friends with him or not fight them niggas at all. These are facts. These are facts. Two hands. Do you think there's a such thing as a weak weight class? Absolutely. 168. Absolutely. 168 is the weakest weight class in boxing. And that's where you know who is going to become undisputed. And that's why I always ask people when in honest interpretation, like if we really look at it, how much credit y'all gonna give dude for going undisputed there? Like I'll be like, okay, cool, but is it impressive? No. Because like really, there's only, you know what I'm saying? There's only a couple of guys you can look at that's really got fucking dog and hyper talent like that. That'd be Canelo and for me, David Benavidez. And a lot of dudes won't give David Benavidez the opportunity because of how he fights and what you're gonna have to go through for 12 rounds. I mean, let's be honest. It's not like it's business as well. Motherfuckers don't want to risk looking bad against certain people, man. Or just get hurt by certain people, because certain people that's really gonna go out there to hurt you. So what? We got Benavidez, we got Dave Benavidez, we got Canelo-Plant, we got Canelo Alvarez, you got Callum Smith, you got John Ryder, you got Lemieux, you got who else? Billy Joe Saunders. To me, that division is weak. To me, those champions are like benefited from the lack of thereof. Honestly, shit, 160 ain't even stout like that for real. It's a couple of guys, you know what I mean? But John Beck coming up though, I see John Beck being a problem for anybody. But yeah, I think 168 is definitely the weakest division in boxing. That's a fact. He never lost. He never lost his belt in the ring. He lost it by a couple of pounds, and that's why I'm so hypercritical, right? Because it's like David Benavidez can lose his belt for being 2 pounds overweight, but the WBC and Mauricio Sulaiman can go out of their way and fight for fucking Oscar Valdez and go to the Paskawaki, goddamn some Indian fucking reserve, goddamn commission to motherfucking get his fight sanctioned, and then let him fight after he tests positive, and then don't even want to come up with no T samples or nothing. So he say they are. So all I'm saying is, if you'll go to bat for a drug cheat, then why can't you motherfucking go to bat for a nigga that's a couple pounds overweight and say, hey man, just go back there and try to shade that real quick? It's cornball shit, man. And why are people not giving credit to Crawford for going undisputed at 140? Also a weak. And why are people not giving credit to Crawford for going undisputed at 140? Also a weak division. But then when Canelo might go to undisputed 68, they will likely praise Canelo for it. Man, you just said it. You just said it. You just said it, dog. You just said it. If 140, if the 140 division was weak as everybody said it is, then why is Canelo getting credit for fighting Avani Yildirim, Callum Smith, Billy Joe Saunders, and Canelo-Plant? And I think right there, that's where we need to leave it off. So as we always say at the end of this shit, it costs you nothing to pay a nigga no mind. Y'all, this has been a fucking great live. Really enjoyed having all of y'all. Yo, had to end it off on that comment right there because when we say some mic dropping shit, we gotta drop mics. You feel me? It's the motherfucking boss. Got love for every single one of y'all. Y'all be safe. Yeah, man. Until next time. Respect.